Welcome to another episode of The Hot Seat. I'm your host, Marie Wiese, and this is the podcast where we put Microsoft partners in the hot seat to ask them pressing questions about what's going on in their business, what's going on in their channel, and really what's going on in the state of the world with respect to Microsoft. And today I am really excited to have Tony Da Silva, who's from intwo, which is a Microsoft partner, global Microsoft partner. Tony happens to be based in the US, but he's helping intwo build out their practice specifically in Dynamics. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Thanks, Marie. Nice to be here.
Now, I have a great question for you. We talked about this after the BizApps Partner Summit in Seattle in July. I heard a lot of Microsoft presentations, and the one that had me scratching my head the most is the comment made by a variety of Microsoft people about this being the golden era of Dynamics. They said, we are now in the golden era of Dynamics. And I scratched my head because one, I wasn't really sure what that meant. And two, I wondered, are we in the golden era of Dynamics? So tell me what you think about that.
Yeah, so I kind of scratched my head a little bit about that as well, having been in the Microsoft channel now for the better part of 22 decades. I've seen Dynamics evolve over the years. But as I thought about it and where we are, especially with the advent of AI, yeah, I think I do agree with Microsoft when they call it the golden era of Dynamics. I think what they mean is that we're really at a unique moment in time where a few big things are coming together all at once, and I'll go through them for you.
Yeah, tell me what those are.
Yeah, so first, the technology itself has matured, right? Dynamics 365 today isn't just ERP or CRM anymore. It's a true cloud platform. It's fully integrated with AI through Copilot and designed to scale from mid-market companies all the way up to global enterprises. That's a huge shift compared to even just 5 years ago. We were in a very different situation. Secondly, Microsoft is investing more heavily than ever in business applications, and that came across in their FY26 kickoff meetings. You see it in the pace of Copilot updates and how tightly Dynamics connects with Power Platform and Fabric, and in the way the partner ecosystem is being energized. It feels like the whole stack is finally firing on all cylinders, a comment I like to use a lot. And thirdly, customer demand is at an all-time high, if we believe the results that were shared by Microsoft. Companies, especially in industries like manufacturing, where we play a huge role, that is one of our ideal customer profiles, are in the manufacturing industry, they're under a tremendous amount of pressure to modernize. They're not just asking, should we move to the cloud anymore, which was something that resonated a lot at the beginning. They're saying we need to do this and we need to do it now. That urgency changes the game. So as far as I'm concerned, it's golden not just because of the tech, but because Dynamics is no longer seen as the second choice behind an SAP or an Oracle, which it was for quite some time. But for a lot of companies today, it's now the system of choice. That means that lower total cost of ownership, faster innovation, and a platform that actually works with the business. So when Microsoft says it's the golden era, I think they're really talking about this convergence. Advanced AI, cloud maturity, and customer urgency all meeting at the same time. And for partners like us, intwo, it's exciting because we're not just implementing software anymore. We're helping companies rethink how they operate, compete, and grow in a competitive environment.
I really wish you'd been at the conference, Tony, because I think you just did a better job summing this up than even some of the presentations I heard. Because I have to say, I left the event really scratching my head saying, what the heck does this mean? But I think that is a brilliant summation. Now, I think one of the things, though, that I've noticed, and I want to dig into this point that you're making about how we have to change as partners when we go out to talk to our customers, when we go to help them with things. I've been a solution seller for a long time, and I know you have too. You sort of think about selling licenses as, the afterthought once you've really gone in to look at a customer's problems, what they're trying to accomplish, how you're going to put the solution together. Do you think it's harder today to do that than it was before? Is it easier? What is the secret sauce? What's the magic, if you can share it, that intwo brings to a customer when they go in to look at these business issues and start to put the solution together?
Right. So as far as a secret sauce that intwo brings to the table.
I mean, to the extent that you can share it.
Yeah. So we're what I would call a full service provider. While our focus is on dynamics, we look at customers in a holistic manner. So we know that they are challenged with a number of urgent things that they have to consider today. For instance, cybersecurity threats are at an all-time high. So we've developed a center of expertise that focuses on security and cybersecurity threats. We also look at what kind of investments companies have made in Azure and all of the services that are comprised thereof. So we have a center of expertise also that helps customers optimize their Azure deployments, their Azure spend, migrate workloads to the cloud, and everything then I guess it coalesces, under a single cloud, right? So when we talk about a cloud solution, we're not just talking about ERP or CRM, but we're really talking about all of the complementary, let's say, technology solutions. It's really about the technology stack that Microsoft offers. We bring all of that to bear whenever we talk to customers, because it's not just one thing that the CFO is necessarily thinking about at night. He's not just thinking about how do I post an invoice or anything like that, but he's actually looking at what's my spend on technology overall? How do I minimize my total cost of ownership? And so we come prepared to address those challenges.
So I think that's really interesting. And, I've been around the tech sector for a long time as well. And here's what I think the opportunity is. And here's what I think the opportunity with AI is, and I think now that we've moved to the cloud, at least that's where people should be heading, so that they can start to really leverage systems and what they're doing in a very different way. What I'm seeing is the breaking down of silos, and these silos that have created barriers between departments, between functions in a business. They create barriers because sometimes we're running, one function on one database, another function on another database, and sometimes these databases don't even talk to each other. But more importantly, we don't talk to each other as different functions within the business. I remember a time when marketing was very much left out on its own to go do its own thing and find its own technology. Oftentimes you find tools within the marketing function that sit outside the main database. For example, a lot of people are using marketing automation outside the CRM. But I think what's so interesting about the times we're living in is the opportunity to break down these silos. I have never had to, as a marketer and a sales professional, been as in tune with technology as I am right now. I have to be, one part marketer and kind of two parts technologists. But I think for a lot of companies, this is difficult. And I know that one of the things that really impressed me about what you're doing it intwo is you have people that have really broken down those silos as you've worked across the business units and you've worked across business problems. Do you think this is the way forward? Is this where the world is heading, that we can't exist in silos anymore as a business?
Right. No, absolutely. That's part of the, I guess, one of the best things that we bring to market together with the Microsoft technology stack is exactly that. It's the breaking down of silos. I mentioned CFOs, you mentioned marketing. You can't have them operate as one-offs. there has to be a single source of truth for organizations. They have to be able to, at any given moment, call up a dashboard that at a glance gives them the health of the business. Are sales on track? Is my supply chain running smoothly? Is everything green across the board? Where are the challenges? Where are the potential breakdowns? Everything, and AI kind of helps to bring all that together. We're seeing that, through Copilot certainly, but with agents, where you can have agents that cut across all of the different applications. It doesn't just have to be ERP or CRM, but it can go into all of the applications that an organization is running today and bring all of that information to bear in a single dashboard. And it really operates as a coworker. I don't like to say that AI is going to reduce necessarily the workforce that we see out there, but what it will do is liberate people to focus on more strategic activities as opposed to doing regular, mundane, routine activities that really don't add a lot of value to the organization. So it's that interoperability across all of the different solutions that really, drives the most value for customers.
So Tony, if this truly is the golden era of Dynamics, and if we agree that there's been a number of things that have had to come together to make this point in time happen, why should customers have a sense of urgency right now? Why should they seize this opportunity?
Right. Thanks for that question. So if you're a customer, the real reason to act now is in fact urgency, right? Microsoft is making its biggest investment ever in Dynamics and AI. We see that across the board. Incentives, R&D, and partner resources are at a peak today. If you wait 2 or 3 years, not only do you lose access to that support, but your competitors who move first will already be running AI.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
While you're still lagging behind trying to migrate. So the cost of waiting is actually higher than the cost of modernizing today. Legacy systems drain budgets. We know all the horror stories, and they limit innovation. Every quarter you stay on a legacy system, you fall further behind in efficiency, you lose insight into your business, and the agility to operate at peak performance. So the AI wave isn't slowing down by any means. This is the inflection point. Early adopters will be shaping how Copilot and agents fit into their business, while the late adopters will just be catching up. So when we call
If they even can.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
they even can.
We're at a point, I've heard it said before, that either you get on board with AI or you risk becoming obsolete. So when we call it the golden era of Dynamics, it's not just a slogan as far as we're concerned. It's really a once-in-a-generation window to transform. And customers who seize it now, they'll lead their industries instead of chasing them.
I think that's a great point. Tony, this has been a great conversation. I always appreciate catching up with you because I know you have, you're not afraid to take a point of view on this. And as I said, I think you've given me one of the best explanations. We'll make sure we do a bit of an outline for everybody in the show notes. But thanks so much for being on the show today, Tony.
It's been a pleasure, Marie. Let's do it again.
You've been listening to another episode of The Hot Seat. I'm your host, Marie Wiese. And as always, get out there, start marketing, start making it happen for your Microsoft practice. Now's the time. It's a golden opportunity. Thanks for listening.